us. I apologize. I'd like to give a message to these police officers, to all of the police officers surrounding us right now. Do your job! Please!
Do your job!
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 Please! We are pleading you! Do the right thing! Go to your superior and demand justice for these 5 babies! You do not want to be involved in the cover-up of the next Gauze Now! How do you spell cover-up?
DCPD!
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 Justice for the 5!
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 We are here on behalf of 5 children today who are victims of the most gruesome and excruciating violence. We have evidence that these children not only were torn apart and violated in the most inhuman way possible, but that it was also most likely done in an illegal way. And we should be able to have justice for that. We should be able to do something for these victims, these tiny, precious victims who never were even held in their lives until after they had been murdered by someone who is supposed to be a medical professional, a doctor. And this is not the first time he's killed. He has killed thousands of babies of all ages up to birth, and he has killed women. He killed Rebecca Carey Sharland, and there is no justice for her either. We are here for justice for the 5. We are here to honor them, to remember them, to memorialize them. They deserve to be mourned. They deserve justice. There is no justice in a world where medical professionals tear apart the people they are supposed to care for. They are supposed to do no harm. And now the police sit here and they do nothing. On their cars it says, "We are here to help." Who the fuck are they helping? They won't even help the most vulnerable victims among us. Justice for the 5!
Justice for the 5!
Justice for Unhell!
Justice for Unhell!
Justice for Holly!
Justice for Holly!
Justice for Harriet!
Justice for Harriet!
Justice for Phoenix!
Justice for Phoenix!
Justice for Christopher X!
Justice for Christopher X!
Sant'Angelo, we are coming for you! You are a murderer and you will answer to your crimes! And the police, we are looking at you! We see what you do! We know what you do! How do you spell cover up?
DCPD!
How do you spell cover up?
DCPD!
Justice for the 5!
Justice for the 5!
Earlier this week, we found out that rose days are limited. But that will only bring justice to future generations of children. What has not been brought justice is the 5 victims found over a month ago who were killed illegally. We are demanding that these are investigated. We demand justice for the most vulnerable people in our society. Even if this was done legally, you cannot look at these pictures and say that that should be legal or moral in this country. We demand justice for the 5.
Justice for the 5!
Justice for the 5!
Justice for the 5!
Justice children were found, and it wasn't random. These are not outliers. This is happening around our country every single day, and we stand by and do nothing. We let this happen. Our apathy needs to be broken through. You cannot look at these pictures and say that this is not justice. It is time that we bring justice to America. It is time that we bring justice for the five.
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
My name is AJ Hurley. I'm the Director of Survivors of the Abortion Holocaust. I spent 20 years in the medical field, and in that time, I spent 7 of those years taking care of little neonates, little pediatric people, much younger than these children. And I can tell you right now, based on these pictures, and based on the evidence and testimony of medical professionals and doctors, that there is prima facie evidence of partial birth abortion and infanticide, and DC Mayor cares not a single iota about their suffering. There are not many laws that protect babies in this country, but there are a few. There are not many federal laws that protect children, but there are 2. The Partial Birth Abortion Ban and the Born Alive Infant Protection Act. And what we have now learned is that there is no single means of enforcement in the most unregulated medical industry that is built on corruption and greed. There's no means of enforcement, and when we look at the murdered images of image bearers of God and fully intact in their mothers, they're still intact in the amniotic sac, they say nothing. How in the world does an aborted full-term baby still end up in its amniotic sac without a partial birth abortion, without infanticide, without violating the Born Alive Infant Protection Act? We may never know, because Muriel Bowser is trying to cover this up. We have 100 Congress now calling for an investigation and calling for an autopsy, but they want nothing. How do you spell cover up? Mayor Bowser!
How do you spell cover up?
Mayor Bowser! How do you spell cover up? Mayor Bowser! How do you spell cover up? Mayor Bowser! Justice for Owen Hall!
Justice for Owen Hall!
Justice for Holly!
Justice for Holly!
Justice for Phoenix!
Justice for Phoenix!
Justice for Harriet!
Justice for Harriet!
Justice for Christopher X!
Justice for Christopher X!
How do you spell cover up?
Mayor Bowser!
How do you spell cover up?
Mayor Bowser!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
My name is Kristen Monahan, and I'm the Executive Coordinator of Progressive Anti-Abortion Uprising. What has happened to these babies is an extreme act of violence against all of humanity, against these babies in particular, and against their mothers. We all deserve better. These babies deserve better. We as a society deserve better than having extreme violence be allowed to get away with. And Mayor Bowser needs to do their job and hold the killer accountable. Santangelo is the next Gosnell, and he needs to be held accountable just like Gosnell was. And there are many Gosnells out there, and they're all getting away with it as we speak. This is just the latest one that has attention on him. But we need to do the right thing. Mayor Bowser needs to do the right thing. Society needs to speak up against this extreme act of violence. No one should be killed this way. These babies deserve better than being killed at all and being killed this way. And there is evidence that it was possibly illegal, which means that we can hold Santangelo accountable. Justice for the five!
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 y estamos aquí pidiendo justicia por estos bebés que fueron asesinados. Santangelo es un carnicero que está haciendo dinero a causa de estos bebés. ¡Miren esto! ¿Cómo es que eso no es un bebé? Está completamente formado y fue asesinado por Santangelo. Y el mayor de Washington D.C. no hace nada. Queremos una autopsia, queremos justicia para Ángel, queremos justicia para Phoenix, queremos justicia para Harriet, queremos justicia para Holly, queremos justicia. ¿Cuándo vamos a tener justicia? Esto no puede seguir. Han violado ley federal. Hay 2 actas federalmente que ellos han violado, que sabemos, the Partial Birth Act y the Born Alive Act. ¿Cómo es posible que no haya una investigación cuando ellos están formados? Miren, ella no pudo mirar. Miren su ojo, miren lo que ella está haciendo. Nos están mirando a nosotros para que nosotros obtengamos justicia. ¿Cuándo va a terminar esta carnicería? ¿Cuándo vamos a dejar de matar a estos bebés inocentes? Porque no podemos negar que son bebés. Son bebés inocentes. Y necesitan justicia, necesitan nuestra ayuda, porque ellos no tienen voz. Ellos no tienen voz, y si nosotros no gritamos por justicia, ¿quién va a gritar por ellos? Ellos no tienen una voz. ¡Justicia queremos! ¡Justicia queremos! ¡Queremos justicia para Holly! ¡Queremos justicia para Phoenix! ¡Queremos justicia para Ángel! ¡Queremos justicia para Harriet! ¡Queremos justicia para Christopher X! ¡Justicia! ¡Justicia! Eso es lo que queremos.
Justice for the five! Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five! Jail the butcher of D.C.
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 Jail the butcher of D.C. Born alive infants deserve health care too! Born alive infants deserve health care too! Born alive infants deserve health care too!
Born alive infants deserve health care too! Born alive infants deserve health care too!
Born alive infants deserve health care too!
Born alive infants deserve health care too!
Born alive infants deserve health care too!
Born alive infants deserve health care too!
Born alive infants deserve health care too!
Born alive infants deserve health care too!
Born alive infants deserve health care too!
Justice for the five!
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 Justice for the five! A better world is possible, and it starts with us. We can end the suffering, we can give it up. Every generation has an obligation to non-violence and non-discrimination. And you know it's true, the unborn matter too. So join us and unite, for we have just begun to fight. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. The world world can be a scary place when you're just getting by. There's no comfort or warm embrace to make you even want to try. Let's come together from across the land to end the stigma and shame. Let's be there for each other and let's loosen and break the chains. And you know it's true, the unborn matter too. So join us and unite, for we have just begun to fight. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. We've come together from near and far, from the mountains to the sand, because we've come to know that the future is in our hands. You never know what you're made of until the moment comes. Well, that day's today and that moment is now, and we shall overcome. And you know it's true, the unborn matter too. So join us and unite, for we have just begun to fight. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Again! Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Help us tell the nation we want a pro-life revolution. Justice for the five!
Justice for the fight!
Justice delayed is justice denied!
Justice delayed is justice denied!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Justice delayed is justice denied!
Justice delayed is justice denied!
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five!
Justice delayed is justice denied!
Justice delayed is justice denied.
Justice for Christopher X.
Justice for Christopher X.
Justice for Christopher X.
Justice for Christopher X.
Justice for Holly.
Justice for Holly.
Justice for Holly.
Justice for Holly.
Justice for Phoenix.
Justice for Phoenix.
Justice for Phoenix.
Justice for
Justicia para los
Phoenix.
bebés que fueron abortados brutalmente. Miren las fotos, están completamente desarrollados. ¿Qué le dices a la gente que está frente a la corte?
Justice for Harriet.
Okay, so anyone getting arrested outside the house?
Justice for Harriet. Justice for the five.
Justice for the five.
Justice delayed. Justice denied.
Justice delayed. Justice denied.
Justice for the five.
Justice for the five.
Justice delayed is justice denied.
Justice delayed is justice denied.
Justice for the five.
Justice for the five.
Justice delayed is justice denied.
Justice delayed is justice denied.
Justice for the five.
Justice for the five.
Justice delayed is justice denied.
Justice delayed is justice denied.
Justice for the five.
Justice for the five.
Justice delayed is justice denied.
Justice delayed is justice denied.
Justice for Christopher X.
Justice for Christopher X.
Justice for Christopher X.
Justice for Christopher X.
Justice for Holly.
Justice for Holly.
Justice for Holly.
Justice for Holly.
Justice for Phoenix.
Justice for Phoenix.
Justice for Phoenix.
Justice for Phoenix.
Justice for on hell.
Justice
For on hell.
Justice for on hell.
Justice for on hell.
Justice for Harriet.
Justice for Harriet.
Justice for Harriet.
Justice for Harriet.
Jail the butcher of DC!
Jail the butcher of DC.
Jail the butcher of DC!
Jail the butcher of DC.
Jail the butcher of DC!
Jail the butcher of DC.
Jail the butcher of DC!
Jail the butcher of DC.
Jail the butcher of DC!
Jail the butcher of DC.
Jail the butcher of DC!
Jail the butcher of DC.
Jail Santangelo!
Jail Santangelo.
Jail Santangelo!
Jail Santangelo.
Jail the butcher of DC!
Jail the butcher of DC.
Jail the butcher of DC!
Jail the butcher of DC.
Jail Santangelo!
Jail Santangelo.
Jail Santangelo!
Jail Santangelo.
Jail the butcher of DC!
Jail the butcher of DC.
Jail the butcher of DC!
Jail the butcher of DC.
Justice for the five!
Justice for the five.
Jail the butcher of DC!
Jail the butcher of DC.
Jail the butcher of DC!
Jail the butcher of DC.
Jail Santangelo!
Jail Santangelo.
Jail the butcher of DC!
Jail the butcher of DC. Jail the butcher of DC. Jail the butcher of DC. Justice for the five. Justice for the five. Justice for the five. Justice for Christopher X.
Justice for Christopher X.
Justice for Christopher X. Justice for Holly.
Justice for Holly.
Justice for Holly.
Justice for Holly.
Justice for Phoenix.
Justice for Phoenix.
Justice for Phoenix.
go to jail. Hold on, hold on. Be a hero, save a whale, save a baby, go to jail. Hold on, hold on. Be a hero, save a whale, save a baby, go to jail. Hold on, hold on.
We didn't expect you to, but guess what? The murderers and their victims are still in there. The murderer's walking around free down in Georgetown right now. He's free. And the people who are helping him cover it up are in there. The government you're obeying is the criminal.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Paul and Silas went to jail, had no money for their bail. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Paul does.
No, hold on. It's okay. Some levity, some levity. Gotta keep some levity to stay sane. What was the other person?
See that conflict on the wall? It don't bother me at all.
The only chains that we can stand are the chains of pain. Chains of pain is pain. The only chains we can stand are chains.
I'll have to do it again, but I think it ended up being 6. They took me 4 beforehand. I think someone decided it was made less of it.
Or bottom from the press, or
I don't know what the problem they're having there.
Justice delayed is justice denied! Justice delayed is justice denied! Do your job! Autopsy now! Do your job! Autopsy now!
Even with these loose abortion laws, you don't have a baby come out of a womb in the embryonic sac. That's not an abortion. That's a kid born alive and left to die. And you're right there right now.
Do your job! Autopsy now! Justice denied is justice denied! You know better! You know better! Do your job!
Justice for the five!
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 Justice for Holly!
Justice for Holly!
Justice for Christopher X!
Justice for Christopher X!
Justice for Phoenix!
Justice for Phoenix!
Justice for Angel!
Justice for Angel!
Justice for Harriet!
Justice for Harriet!
How do you spell cover up?
DCPD!
How do you spell cover up?
DCPD!
There's someone else too. How do you spell cover up?
Mayor Bowser!
How do you spell cover up?
Mayor Bowser!
Alright, let's head to the jail so we can be jail scared. Okay. Let's pack up and then head to the jail.
Officers, most of us are volunteers. Most of us are not career activists. We're here volunteering because we care about these 5 children. And God placed you in this job you have. You do have more influence with your superiors than we do. We encourage you to ask your superiors and urge them to work justice for the 5. We're not here out of hate. I'm a conservative. I support the police force. And I'm thankful for the many great things you do for communities around the world. I believe you do many good things. But to ignore what these 5 children have gone through is the absolute epitome of injustice. I hope that when you go back to your office and you sit down, that you remember the images of Holly, of Christopher X, of Angel, of Angel, and the other name that I failed to remember, because they are people. Phoenix, the other one. We gave them names, and they otherwise would not be known to our world. They would be destroyed legally by Cesar Santangelo. And he's killing children like this again and again at these stages. They can kill children up to 40 weeks gestation. Meanwhile, your local NICU is probably highly skilled enough to be resuscitating babies at 21 weeks gestation or 20 weeks prior. Those children do matter that are being killed in Washington, D.C. And specifically, we have 5 children we're letting you know about that potentially have violated 2 federal acts. Partial birth abortion ban and the Born Alive Infant Protection Act. If you saw the picture of the child that was still in the amniotic fluid, there wasn't any dismemberment that had occurred there. It doesn't appear that that child had received a feticide either. Potentially that child was born alive in the amniotic sac and just died. Just couldn't get air and died. I'm just asking that you be concerned about that and that you consider how precious those children are. You do have influence as officers who enforce justice. So please, don't just enforce justice for us, larger human beings. If someone attacks you right now, despite the fact that you don't like me very much, you probably do something to stop that. Because you care, because you seek to promote justice in this community. So please also promote justice for these children who have been very severely harmed and attacked. We believe that you have influence with your superior, so please promote justice for these children. Ask them to perform the autopsy.
As a progressive, the key values are equality, nonviolence, and non-discrimination. How can we consider this cover-up equality? How can we consider this cover-up nonviolence? How can we consider this cover-up non-discrimination? These babies were murdered. They were likely killed either during a partial birth abortion or after birth in an act of infanticide. Allowing their murders to go uninvestigated is an absolute breach of justice. It is an absolute breach of the dignity of all humans that you swore to protect when you became officers. I beg of you, encourage your superiors to demand an investigation into these 5 babies from this building right here. Even though they were not cared for in life and were dehumanized in the most way possible, the absolute least you could do is to grant them the dignity of an investigation so that their murders do not go in vain, so that other babies like them will not be killed either in partial birth abortions or infanticide. Call for an investigation so that no more patients who walk into St. Angela's Clinic down in Foggy Bottom will be harmed. St. Angelo has harmed pregnant patients in addition to babies. We remember today not only the 5, but also the other people that St. Angelo has harmed, including Rebecca Carey Charland, who died because of his malpractice. The Board of Health for D.C. had launched an investigation into St. Angelo 10 years ago because of botched abortions, because of uterine perforations, because of harm to people's reproductive organs. And you know what the Board of Health said? They would keep him on only because he's the one who's most sought after for these types of procedures. They glossed over it. They glossed over his harm 10 years ago, and that's why we're here now, because nothing was done then. The only way to fix this great injustice is by launching investigation now, so that Sant'Angelo does not have the power to harm people in our streets, in our communities, to take advantage of people, make a profit off of their dehumanization, off of the violence that he does to them. Please remember that. Please keep the memory of this day in your mind as you move forward. And please do not let a moment go by until you demand that the Chief Medical Office launches an investigation into the bodies of these children.
I found the box. I opened the box. I found these children. I held this child, Harriet. I held this child. The only act of love she experienced. Harriet is looking towards you for justice. Harriet is looking towards all of us for justice. She's looking towards you for justice. I will never be the same after having to hold these children and finding these children. Every moment I see them. I see them. And they are looking towards us. She's looking towards you for justice. You have the ability to do your job, to do an autopsy. It's the literal least you can do.
it's just you and your conscience. Remember Harriet. Remember her little perfect body. Because I remember the moment when I opened that box and the breath was taken out of me, and I thought to myself, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't open these containers. I can't see what's inside because I knew what was going to be inside. Dead babies! Dead babies! We're talking about literal murdered babies. Murdered babies. The media wanted to call me horrible and crazy to distract from the fact that these are literal murdered babies. Harriet is looking towards all of us for justice, and are we going to answer that call? Think about it tonight. Really, truly think about it tonight. In the night, with your head on your pillow in the dark, and it's just you and your conscience, you and God. Think about this moment. Think about Harriet. She's looking to us for justice, and are we going to answer that call? Thank you. All right, folks, let's pack up and do jail support. It's the 2nd District.
It was really helpful. Yeah, it was wild seeing it all over again.